back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video. I'm excited for today's video, but I know that it's going to be a hassle and a half. Today, as you guys can see from the title, I will be doing and showing you guys my entire owned TBR for the year of 2020. I did one of these videos at the beginning of this year when I first started my booktube channel, and wow, have things changed. I think at the time of filming that I had like 63 books on my entire own TBR, and now maybe it was more than 63, maybe it was in the hundreds, but now it's like something happened and I don't really know how to explain it. So stay tuned for that. I will be doing a reaction to my entire own TBR from the beginning of the year. That will be another video coming this month, so stay tuned for that. But today we will actually be talking about all of my unowned books. Now, I was going to do this via category and like all the books in their category and what I hadn't read, but as you guys know, I have my books set up in rainbow order, as well as I have two other bookshelves in the bedroom, and it was just going to be way too hard to do it that way. I would have had to take all my books out, categorize them, and I just don't have enough space in my apartment to keep them out for several days because it's going to take a little while to film all of this. So that being said, I'm going to do them based off of the bookshelves themselves. Off of each shelf, I'm just going to pull the ones that I haven't read and then show them to you, and then on the side I will have a counter telling you guys how many unread books that I have. So I'm sorry if they're not going to be in genre order or with this in series order, but hopefully you guys will still enjoy this video. We have a lot of books to talk about, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing I'm going to start with are books that have just been laying around my house that I have not read, so let's do it. And I would like to apologize in advance if I butcher any of these authors' names because you know I'm going to do it. Let's do this. Rule 1, You Can't Date the Coach's Daughter by Anne Marie Mayer. The 10th Girl by Sarah Faring. The Train is Being Held by Esme Williams. Furyborn by Claire Legrand. Supernova by Marissa Meyer. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. All 3 of my copies. A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. Crier's War by Nina Varela. Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Scammed by Kristen Simmons. The Silent Wife by A.S.A. Harrison. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. Now That I Found You by Christina Forrest. Dear Daughter by Elizabeth Little. Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. The Amityville Horror by Jay Anson. A Reunion of Rivals by Reese Ryan. Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. The Diviners by Libba Bray. Legendborn by Tracy Dion. An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapina. Defiance by C.J. Redwine. Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And finally, The Last of My Strays, Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. Okay, moving on to my very first shelf at the very top. This one has like white and white and a little bit of green. And we're starting off with Star Daughter by Shavita Thakrar. One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. The One by Kira Cass. Between the World and Me by Ta Anishi Coates. White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo. God's Grave and Dark Dawn by Jay Kristoff. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. After You by Jojo Moyes. Insurgent by Veronica Roth. And Blood Promise by Rochelle Mead. Now moving on to my green and yellow shelf, we have The Battle of the Labyrinth and The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. Air of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. Juliet Takes a Breath by Gabby Rivera. Sisters by Choice by Suzanne Mallory. A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. Undercover Bromance by Lisa K. Adams. Love Her or Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. And How Long Until Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin. Now on to my red and orange shelf, we have The Kissing Game by Maria Hart. The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudon. Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Felix Ever After by Kaysen Callender. The Curious Charms of Arthur Pepper by Phaedria Patrick. Big Friendship, and I'm not going to try to pronounce these names. All This Time by Miki Daughtry and Rachel Lippincott. Okay, now we have my red and pink shelf. The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver. Fortuna Sworn by KJ Sutton. Spiritbound and Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. American Royals by Catherine McGee. The Boyfriend Project by Farah Roshan. And The Wedding Date by Jasmine Gilroy. Okay, up next we have my purple and pink shelf. My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. Winter by Marissa Meyer. You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson. The Crown by Kira Cass. The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins. Lovely War by Julie Berry. The Grace Year by Kim Leggett. and This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. Alright, up next we have my dark blue shelf, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, The Night Circus by Megan Golden, These Bright Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness, Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren, Frostbite by Rochelle Mead, 4 by Veronica Roth, Tiny Infinities by J.H. Dale, Cress by Marissa Meyer, Shadowkiss by Rochelle Mead, and Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Okay, well this shelf is terrible, but this is another one of my blue shelves. Orphan Island by Lauren Snyder, Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, The Cabin at the End of the World by Ruth Ware, Unravel Me by Tahara Mafi, Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson, If I Never Met You by Mahiri McFarlane, More Than Maybe by Erin Hahn, Naughtier and Wilder by Laura Lee and Jackie Burton, The Memory Watcher by Minka Kent, Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks, Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, and City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert. Okay, now we have the last of my blue shelf. The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds, Fangirl by Rainbow Rao, The House with Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson, Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins, The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine, Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shannon McGuire, Ignite Me by Tahara Mafi, and Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Okay, this is my second to last shelf in the living room, and this is my gray and black shelf. We have Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, The Power by Naomi Alderman, Six of Crows and Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo, City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass, all by Cassandra Clare, Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas, An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, The Air by Kira Cass, Fairest by Stephanie Meyer, Darker and Gray by E.L. James, Chosen, Untamed, Hunted, Destined, Tempted, Burned, Awakened, and Redeemed, all by PC Cast and Kristen Cast, and yes, I know those are out of order. Now we have my very last shelf in the living room, and that is a completely black shelf. We have Ninth House by Lee Bardugo, Looking for Alaska by John Green, House of Salt and Sorrow by Aaron A. Craig, Conceal Don't Feel by Jen Kalanita, Torment and Passion by Lauren Kate, Verity by Colleen Hoover, Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Pepperneal, A Master Plan for Rescue by Janice Cook Newman, The Night Tiger by Yang Zi Chu, And I Darken by Kirsten White, Dirty for Me by Jackie Ashenden, Women Who Run with Wolves by Clarissa Pincola Estes, A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. Alright, and now we're moving on to all of the books that were in my bedroom. Again, this is in no particular order. I'm just going to go stack by stack, and if you guys could see the chaos that is ensuing here, it's a lot, so let's get into it. Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare, The Wedding by Danielle Steele, After We Collided, and After We Fell, all by Anna Todd, Tuesdays with Maury, and The Five People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom, Educated by Tara Westover, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria by Beverly Daniel Tatum, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb, Redwood and Ponytail by K.A. Holt, Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios, Alex Approximately by Jen Bennett, Dark Side by Belinda Bauer, The Twisted Ones by T. Kingfisher, Find Her by Lisa Gardner, One Small Sacrifice by Hilary Davidson, In a Dark Dark Wood by Ruth Ware, The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton, Soul Survivor by Dean Koontz, Staying Strong by Demi Lovato, The Book Thief by Marcus Suzak, Midnight at the Blackbird Cafe by Heather Weber, Little by Edward Carey, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth, Year One by Nora Roberts, City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, Blessing in Disguise by Danielle Steele, The Dog Who Saved Me by Susan Wilson, Big Summer by Jennifer Weiner, Where Did You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple, Spilling Clarence by Anne Ursu, The Dive from Clawson's Pier by Anne Packer, Paradise by Toni Morrison, A Man Called Ove, Beartown, and Us Against You by Frederick Bachman, Hello Stranger by Lisa Kleypas, Hard As You Can by Laura Kay, The Proposal by Jasmine Gilroy, Running Wild by Linda Howard and Linda Jones, The Two-Date Rule by Tawana Fesky, Barred to You, Entwined with You, Captivated by You, Reflected in You, One with You, and 7 Years to Sin, all by Sylvia Day. A Girl's Guide to Moving On by Debbie McComber, The Mothers by Britt Bennett, The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Ali Waxman, See Me and The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks, Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, The Summer Deal by Jill Shalvis, Ties That Tether by Jane Igaro, Would Like to Meet by Rachel Winters, The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks, Truly Madly Guilty by Leanne Moriarty, At First Sight by Nicholas Sparks, Sing You Home by Jodi Picoult, A Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult, The Art of Racing in the Rain by Garth Stein, Beloved by Toni Morrison, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid, A Little Life by Hanya Yagahari, Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, Picture Perfect by Jodi Picoult, Vanishing Acts by Jodi Picoult, The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey, The Vine Witch and the Glamorous by Luann G. Smith, Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, Dark Tide, and Sea Spell by Jennifer Donnelly, A Whole New World by Liz Braswell, Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, Daughters of Neri by Renee K. Amayo, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee, Dear John by Nicholas Sparks, One Day in December by Josie Silver, Vision in White, Bed of Roses, Savor the Moment, and Happily Ever After by Nora Roberts, On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, Inescapable and Intuition by Amy A. Bartol, Malice by John Gwynn, The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winters, 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult, Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nyan, Ink by Alice Broadway, Orange by Ichigo Takano, Dragon at Dawn, Earthquake in the Early Morning, Tigers at Twilight, Tonight on the Titanic, Viking Ships at Sunrise, Day of the Dragon King, Vacation Under the Volcano, Polar Bear Past Bedtime, Lions at Lunchtime, Ghost Town at Sundown, Dolphins at Daybreak, Midnight on the Moon, Sunset of the Sabretooth, Afternoon on the Amazon, Night of the Ninjas, Pirates Past Noon, The Night at Dawn, and Dinosaurs Before Dawn, all by Mary Pope Osborne. Persepolis, The Story of a Child, and Persepolis 2, The Story of Return by Mary Jane Satpari, Saga Volume 2, Saga Volume 3, and Saga Volume 4 by Brian K. Vaughan, Archie Volume 2, Route 666, Highway to Horror, Tomb Raider Troubleseekers, Tale of Magic by Chris Colfer, The Magicians by Neil Patrick Harris, Alex Rider, Stormbreak, and Point Blank by Anthony Horowitz, The 12 Dates of Christmas by Jenny Bayless, A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey, A Mall Unbound by Aisha Saheed, City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, and The End, all by Lemony Snicket, The Unicorn Quest by Camilla Benko, The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick, Into the Dust by B.J. Daniels, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand, Wrong for Me and Sin for Me by Jackie Ashenden, Linger by Maya Banks, Forever With Me by Kristen Proby, Still Me by Jojo Moyes, Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore, Blended by Sharon M. Draper, Land of Stories, The Wishing Well by Chris Colfer, Lover Unbound and Lover Enshrined by J.R. Ward, The Bastard's Bargain by Katie Robert, Never Love a Highlander, Brazen, and Rush by Maya Banks, Tart by Lauren Dane, Gabriel's Redemption by Sylvian Renard, The Chosen Sin by Anya Bast, A Heart's Rebellion by Ruth Axtell, My Wicked Little Lies by Victoria Alexander, Dance With Me by Kristen Proby, My Favorite Half-Night Stand by Christina Lauren, Kept and Fever by Maya Banks, The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, The Death Cure, The Kill Order, and The Fever Code, all by James Dashner, Matched and Crossed by Ali Condi, The Beautiful by Renee Audier, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, Set Fire to the Gods by Sarah Roche and Kristen Simmons, The Bone Shard's Daughter by Andrea Stewart, Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, The List by Saban Vivian, Homegoing by Yagassi, The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han, Chemical Hearts by Crystal Sutherland, I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nilsson, The Black Kids by Christina Hamonos Reed, One to Watch by Kate Stamen London, Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, Les Mis by Victor Hugo, Persuasion by Jane Austen, Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, The Iliad by Homer, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller, Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, The Giver by Lewis Lowry, Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, Water for Elephants by Sarah Grunn, A Prodigy of One's Own by Evie Dunmore, The Black Prism by Brent Weeks, The Tenth Circle by Jodi Picoult, Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Poston, The Last True Poet of the Sea by Julia Drake, Runin Rising by Lee Bardugo, Phantom Prey by John Stanford, Invisible by James Patterson and David Ellis, Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, In an Instant by Suzanne Redford, Come Find Me by Megan Miranda, Leave the World Behind by Rumen Alamon, One by One by Ruth Ware, The Shadows by Alex North, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, The One by John Mars, The Secrets You Keep by Kate White, Coconut Layer Cake Murder by Joanne Fluke, The Lying Game by Ruth Ware, The Green Mile, The Mist, and It by Stephen King, Each of Us a Desert by Mark Oshiro, A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas, The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare, The Host by Stephanie Meyer, Fable by Adrienne Young, Pride by E.B. Zaboy, Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake, Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, Covet by J.R. Ward, The Demon King, The Exiled Queen, The Grey Wolf Throne, and The Crimson Crown, all by Cinda Williams Chima. A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, The Last Name Sarah by Kristen Cicerelli, Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, Circe by Madeline Miller, The Last Stack, Letters to the Lost by Bridget Kemmerer, The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West, If I Stay and Where She Went by Gail Foreman, More Than We Can Tell by Bridget Kemmerer, The Truth About Forever and This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen, Rule 2, You Can't Crush on Your Sworn Enemy, and Rule 3, You Can't Kiss Your Best Friend by Anne Marie Meyer, That Summer by Sarah Dessen, The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, and finally, last but very not least, Transcendent Kingdom by Yagasi. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that, but I did that. And I did it in one sitting. I didn't have to change my clothes. I didn't have to do any of that, but this is my entire physically owned TBR. I don't even know how many books that was. It felt like a million. And if you made it to the end of this video, I have no idea how long this is going to be, but if you made it to the end, props to you. Leave a book stack emoji in the comments below if you made it to the end. It means the world to me. That is the end of this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If there's any books that you've seen in this entire list, please leave them down below for books that I need to prioritize. Let me know, because obviously there's a lot of books here and some of them have to go to the top of the list at some point. So let me know if you guys see anything. But other than that, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video.